CNN recently wrote an article about a woman named Ima Matul. She was a woman from Indonesia who was looking for an opportunity to improve her life. So she accepted a position from her uncle to become a nanny. When she arrived, her passport was taken away. She was forced to work 7 days a week with no breaks and for no pay. She was threatened and even physically abused to the point of being hospitalized when she didn't work up to the standards of her employer. And the crazy thing about this story is it didn't happen overseas, but it actually happened in LA. We think of slavery as something that was eradicated through the Civil War, that it is a thing of the past, but the truth is it happens all over the world, even here in the United States. Slavery is still an issue in the United States today. Today I'm going to tell you what slavery is. I'm going to tell you the different types of slavery that there are, and I'm going to tell you some signs of slavery. According to the Office of Justice Programs, human trafficking is described as recruitment, harboring, transportation, provision, or obtaining of a person for a job, for labor or other services through the use of force, fraud, or coercion for the purpose of subjection to involuntary servitude, debt, bondage, or slavery, which is a really long definition, but it basically means forcing someone to do a job that they don't want to do. In the United States, 300,000 children are at risk for being exploited sexually every year, according to the Office of Justice Programs. Free International, which is a nonprofit advocating for the eradication of human trafficking, explains that typical victims are runaways or, quote, throwaways of society who are looking for a better life. Victims are found in every single state in our nation. If you look in the news, you will find an article in literally every single state. There's no one that's immune. There are a few different types of slavery. The first is labor, like in the story of Ima Matul. An estimated 11% of victims, according to the Office of Justice Programs, are subjected to labor slavery. And 20% of the calls that are received by the National Human Trafficking Resource Center are related to labor slavery. This affects many facets of work in the United States today, which include domestic work, traveling, sales, which really sadly is often children that are being exploited, and in restaurants. The other type of trafficking that we see in the United States is sex trafficking, which is 82%. Often this is women aged 12 to 14 when they are first exposed to this type of slavery, but it can affect anybody, men or women of any age, according to Free International, the nonprofit advocacy center. There are a few signs of people who are being trafficked that are easily recognized, according to Polaris, which is another advocacy center. And those are a lack of freedom to come or go as a person would please, working excessively long or unusual hours, not being allowed breaks, not having income, a high security in their working or living environment, such as bars on the doors or windows and excessive locks or security guards even. Another sign is a lack of access to their immigration documents, such as passports or similar documents. Being unusually fearful or anxious, especially when legal authorities are mentioned, and people not being allowed to speak for themselves. This is a really sad condition affecting a lot of people in the United States or people around us, but it doesn't always have to end badly. Ima Matul was able to eventually learn enough English to write a note that said, "Help me." She slipped it to a neighboring nanny who eventually set up a way for her to escape, a time and people to assist her in her escape, and she was able to go to school, get work, become paid. She eventually earned her GED, and today she is married with 3 children and has actually become an advocate herself and works with a trafficking organization and works with survivors. Thank you.